how to best benefit from a tarot reading, why to book a tarot reading, what can a tarot reading give you, all those sort of things. These are a couple of questions that I've been having, and I am very excited to make this video to share some things with you. Now, the tarot is a huge conversation, and it's a conversation that I've been having myself actively for more than 20 years now, and it's a conversation that keeps on going and going and going, because the tarot essentially is the story of life. It is a story about creation. It is a story about now. It is a story about the past. It is a story about the future. It is a story about your potential. It is a story of life giving you feedback, really. So it's a wonderful, wonderful tool of enlightenment and guidance. And it's not all these horrible, terrible things that a lot of labels, that have been placed upon it by fear and by those really who just want to control the masses through fear. So welcome to this video that has got me so excited. My name is Adrian Nelson. I am a holistic wellness practitioner. I've been reading the tarot for more than 20 years now. I'm a full-time professional tarot reader. I teach the tarot. I've been teaching it to many, many, many people in person, on like group sessions like Zoom and stuff like that. I have got a couple of very detailed, I believe in detailed coaching. Got beautiful, detailed, step-by-step tarot reading coachings available they're online. The links for them all in the description. And this is for whether you are brand new to the tarot or you've been doing it for a while and you go to the much more advanced levels. There is an amazing, amazing 40 days journey. And it also includes, or really rather touches on the 7 Hermetic principles as per the Kabbalion, which is all in line with the journey of creation, humans, us, energy, the soul, and with the tarot being an ongoing journey, the actual correct or more sort of like more anciently correct term for the tarot is tarot, which is Taro, which is all about the wheel. It's about the wheel of life, and a lot of times, people have this term that they say, don't try to reinvent the wheel. And that is pretty much the same, because if you look at history, in many ways, history repeats itself over and over and over. And a lot of times we just do the same thing over and over and over. So the tarot, first and foremost, can definitely be utilized as a tool of enlightenment. And when I say enlightenment, I mean that you get to understand yourself better. All right? It's not really even that much about debunking mysteries or anything like that. I think we so often spend so much time and so much energy and so much money, really trying to find magic in life. And the simplest ways for you to really find magic in life is to listen to your own voice. Is when you breathe in and you breathe out and you see the breath like soft, mist breath, like, maybe on a cold day flowing out. Or you just blow across your hand. That is the magic of life. You look in the mirror, you see yourself, you're literally looking at a miracle. Because as a human being, you are a physical expression of universal possibility, divine, sacred universal possibility. Okay? So the tarot, a lot of people have the idea that tarot is just these, 78 cards, and they're like fortune telling, and they're so evil, and like woo and stuff like that. And of course, the tarot is one of, several other things like numerology, like astrology, all of those things. When you really think about it, when you really take some time to think about it, all of those tools in life that can help you to discover, to unlock, to expand, to maintain, to possibly benefit from your own divine potential, your inherent potential, the sacred divinity of who you are. As a human being, you are an expression of light, universal light, When we speak about you being made in the image of the Creator, you are magic. And so the tarot, you can think of it almost like this blueprint, like this guideline, And as I said, it's one of many things that have been suppressed by, pretty much the powers that be that wanted to control people with fear. And so that is why a lot of people say like, oh my goodness, tarot is evil, it's evil, Knievel. But, it's often the evil, well, it's pretty much the evil Knievels that have been saying that the tarot is evil because they, people that come from greed, and when you want to oppress another person, it comes from greed, and greed comes from fear. It's all ego, You want to oppress people to make them sort of like dependent on you, almost like addicted to you, And I know I'm going to step on some toes here, but it is what it is. When you think of something like religion, it is, especially Christianity, it is, first of all, and this is just an historic fact, it is an enforced religion. Constantine made it illegal to not be Christian. And if you weren't Christian, then you would be prosecuted and you would be put to death in pretty much very public sort of ways. Again, fear, behead the person, the witch and the whatever in public. And it's all about fear. It's all about oppression. And the tarot is about setting you free because the tarot tells the story of you. And not just of you as a human being, but all of who you are. Because you are all of creation. You are all of life. Okay? You are all of life. You are all of creation. We are in heaven right now. We are having a dream of not being in heaven because we're in this incarnated space of forgetfulness. And the tarot is one of those things that help you to remember again who you are. Who you are. The divinity of who you are. And so, even though the tarot is a very broad conversation, it's a very simple conversation, really. It is focusing about, this is where, so remember everything is energy, okay? So in energy with your vibration, where are you currently? How did you get there? And where is this most likely taking you going forward? That's it. That's literally it. And also something very, very interesting is that a lot of times, when people book a reading with me, obviously something feels amiss and something feels, a little bit upside down and that sort of thing, almost like joy debunked in a sense. But, this is quite interesting. A lot of times people believe they've got lots of different problems at work, problems with health, problems with love, problems with money, problems with all of those sort of things. And all the experiences that we as human beings have, which can be very, very heavy sometimes. But more often than not, I find, and nobody told me this, I found this through my own experience through all of the years, doing tarot, that a lot of times we think that we've got several different problems, which we do, but what I find is that the initiating core is usually the same. Not feeling worthy enough, not feeling strong enough, not feeling deserving enough, having a lot of fear, having trauma in yourself. And the thing about trauma is that majority of the trauma that we have is inherited trauma. You were born with it. It was passed, down in your family lineage, in your pathology. Okay? And so a lot of times the problems that we have, the challenges that we have in this life, the problems that we have, the unhappiness, the sadness, the depression, the overwhelm. When I say depression, I'm talking about feeling depressed, it stems from a deeper core belief within yourself that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy enough, you're not deserving enough. Why should good things happen to you? You say to people, well, I've got a track record, things never go well for me, okay? And it often comes from a belief that we have within ourselves, which isn't necessarily anybody's fault, because humanity has been subjected to such horrible, horrible oppression through all of the generations that it's only natural that people are scared. Now, when someone has a tarot reading with me, I normally say to them, I'll do for you a general reading, and you are more than welcome to list up to 5 focus points. Focus points, problems, worries, fears, concerns, whatever those things might be. But what I find is that with the general reading, it will usually answer all your questions and even some that you didn't know that you had. Okay? And the way that I see it, now I'm not saying that you shouldn't ask questions, because, you're more than welcome to, when you have a reading with me, you're more than welcome to ask questions. I welcome it. All right? But what I find is that when it comes to how to best benefit from a tarot reading, when, obviously when you book it with someone that is not coming from ego, because I personally know a lot of people that have ideas of like, oh, I'm the best reader there is, and nobody's better than me, and I'm the creme de la creme, and like the crop of the crop, whatever, and I'm so spiritual, and I'm so divine, and I've got this powerful gift. And I always find it very comical when people refer to themselves as international psychics, because this is a universal energy. And yes, it is probably meaning that you are working with an international clientele. But what I find is that instead of it being a descriptive term, it is usually a term that people use to legitimize themselves, I am good, I am perfect, I'm great. Now, I'm not recommending that you are, if you are reading, I'm not recommending that you sort of like pounce yourself down. That is not what I'm saying. But what I'm more getting at is that if you want to book a reading for yourself, I would say always book with somebody that you are comfortable with. And I even say to people when they have a reading with me, you had a reading, it blew your mind, because I'm just going to be straight, honest, and very proud about it. I am fucking amazing when it comes to doing tarot readings. And it's because I understand that it's not about me. It is about the person that I'm reading for. All right. So you want to make sure that you book a reading with someone that doesn't come from ego. They don't try to suppress you with their powerful gift and all of their energy. And, a lot of times people want to say the right words to make you feel ever so accomplished. And sometimes they breadcrumb you. Just because somebody's a tarot reader doesn't mean that they don't have their own things to deal with. They're human beings. I'm a human being. You've got a human being. We've all got our stuff that we're dealing with, But first of all, that I'm going to say is have a reading with someone that you resonate with. Whether you've known that person for a while, whether you haven't known that person, whether they just, popped up on your screen or whatever it is, even if this video just pops up on your screen, it might inspire you to say, well, I really would like to have a tarot reading, but it doesn't have to be with me. If something inside of you says, yes, I should have a reading with Adrian, that feels like the right thing to do, then by all means, kudos, go right ahead and do that. But I'm going to say first and foremost, to make sure that you get the greatest benefit out of a reading, is to follow your intuition, follow your heart. Your heart will never lead you wrong. If your heart says this is a good person to have a reading with, then I'm going to say be open to consider that. If your heart says, I'd like to have a reading, but I don't know if I want it with this person, then I'm going to say, open your energy. And the way that you do it is just by saying, I open myself to having a reading with someone that really resonates with me. And I open myself to having that person come to me, to reveal themselves for the universe to sort of like usher it in. Okay? And what I personally find is that when people come to me and they say, Adrian, I just want to see what comes out for me, I usually find that when you open yourself like that, that is when I feel the most that really comes to you. And there is a lot of times when people say, how did you know that? And I was like, I don't really know how I knew that, But obviously it flows through your psychic sense and psychic ability and stuff like that. All right. So I'm going to say, now before I even make this statement, I'm going to say that this is just my experience. This is what I find, and this is, sort of other tarot readers and other spiritual practitioners and channelers, and psychic mediums that I speak to, and they pretty much fall under the same umbrella in any case, But we all sort of unanimously agree that, yes, you can have questions, but when you come, and I can say humble yourself in front of the universe, but sometimes people think of humble yourself as making yourself smaller. So I'd rather say when you come to open yourself and say, life, what do you have to communicate to me? What might you have to say to me? When you open yourself like that, that is usually when life can speak to you magically, because it's good to have focus, obviously. And I really want to stress this. I'm not saying that you cannot ask questions. I'm very open to people asking questions. And the reason why I say 5 questions is because a lot of times we think that we've got all these many things going on because your mind is going a mile a minute. But when you really sort of like bring them down to basics, you'll normally find that it's about 3 to 5 things. You can think you've got 5 different things, and then you realize, oh, well, that's actually really just one thing. Because I feel the same way in my job, I feel the same way in my relationships, whatever those relationships are. But personally, I really find that when you come and you say, I open myself to the universe speaking to me, that is when I find that the magic really comes through for you. Because whilst questions can be definitive, when you really think about it, in a sense, they're also limiting. Because the moment you say, what is this and what is my problem, you kind of zoom in on that, and then the focus and the energy is pretty much on that and not on all the other things, which is why I don't just do a reading. Me personally, I don't just do, and I suggest this to all my tarot students as well, through my online course. I said there's links for them in the description. You can check them out. All the first couple of lessons are always free. So you can see whether my coaching style resonates with you or if it doesn't. Because in the same way that, that I might not be your cup of tea, other people might not be your cup of tea either, or someone else might be your cup of tea. So I believe it only fair to, to get you to first check out and to see if it's for you. But I find that when you sort of open yourself, and as I said, I recommend it to my students as well, and you first just do a general reading and you see what comes to you. That is where I find where all the magic lies. But whether you're going to ask questions, whether you're not going to ask questions, again, only speaking from my own personal experience. Now, remember, I've been in this game for a while. And it really does take some time, or it took me some time to build up your confidence to say to someone, you can give me a whole paragraph, speak as much as you need to, write as much as you need to, if you want to book a reading, or you can tell me nothing. I am completely comfortable both ways, but it took me a while to get there. But I really find that when people are saying, you know what, I would just like a general reading, I would just like to see what the universe says. I've been having some trouble with this and that, and I'm having these concerns, and maybe I've become more sort of like spiritual and that sort of things, but I just like to see what the universe has to say. I normally find that is when, I get those really sort of like breakthrough readings. Breakthrough not necessarily for me, breakthrough for the clients. Because it's very important to understand that the reading is not about me. I am simply a channel, a conduit for the message for you. And because we are all one, because we are all connected, I always feel it's so important to remind people that I am not this, spiritual teacher, guru, whatever you want to call it, tarot reader, that's sort of like all there and all ever so connected, and you just over here. I am you. I am a mirror reflection of you. When I do a reading, it is literally you speaking to yourself in a way that you can perceive it. So I'm going to say, if you are open to a reading with me, it will be my divine honor. All right. I do my readings in a couple of different ways. The most popular option is to book a pre-recorded reading. They're typically about 60 to 90 minutes. I find more towards the 90 minutes mark, typically an hour and a half. Pre-recorded, and I really love pre-recorded readings, and this is what I want to say to you. Pre-recorded is well, let's call it the cheapest option. The cheapest option that I have for a full reading. It is the option that is the most work for me, because once I've done the reading, I have to upload it, I have to send you the link, all of those type of things. But it's an unlimited streaming video. But every time you look at the reading, you get something new and something different, because your mind is different every time you get new information. So I find that is really, literally, honestly, the best option. But I do pre-recorded, I do via video, I do in person, and then I also have a follow-up option. If, say, within 60 days after your reading, whichever option you chose, you can ask 3 questions, it's 30 minutes, do a follow-up for you. But I would say that the best way to benefit from a reading, and this is why it's so important you do it with someone that you have a sense of trust with. You don't have to feel all powerful and strong. You can feel a little nervous. You can think to yourself, oh shit, what is going on here? That's fine to feel that way. It's normal to have a bit of nervousness, even apprehension. It's normal, because it can be a scary sort of thing, and there's so much fear that has been cultivated, consciously cultivated, with bad intentions around tarot. So it's okay. I get this. No worries at all. But if you can say, you know what, universe, I'm open to receive, I'm open to guidance, and you open your heart, my intention is always for your highest good, I find that you'll get so much out of a reading. So whether it's with me, whether it's with someone else, open yourself to receive. Open yourself to let life speak to you, because that is what a tarot reading is, And when it comes to the whole fortune telling thing, it is literally, remember, as I said, this is where you are, this is how you got here. And obviously the current is consistently becoming the past, which means the future is consistently becoming. And it's what you do in this moment that determines the future. No matter how long you've had a worry, a trouble, a fear, and concern, you always have the power to change your life in this moment. Your power is always in the present moment. Okay? So I hope that gives you some guidance. I created this video because a lot of people have been asking me this question. So if you're open to maybe some other questions around the tarot, I'm a tarot reader, I'm a Reiki master, crystal healer, I'm an angel healer. I teach abundance, prosperity, manifestation, how to, tap into that wonderful abundance vibration of the universe. I'm a hypnotherapist. I work in person. I work online. I'm a massage therapist. I do Reiki massages. Obviously, those are not online, but everything else I can pretty much do online. To me, it's the same because it's always energy. And I always, sometimes, not always, but sometimes I have this interesting experience where I'm very good friends with someone, and then past sometimes, some months and even some years sometimes, and I meet them and it's the same to me. Because the body is an avatar for the truth of who you are. And that is such a beautiful thing, and it's such a divine thing to me. So I want to thank you for listening. I welcome your comments. If you feel comfortable to like this video, I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel, hit that subscription button, all those notifications. Leave a comment, say hi to everyone. Give your opinion, give your feedback. All right. Please let's be respectful when you leave comments. There's no need to be vulgar to each other. All right. But I look forward to your comments, even if it's just to say hi, or if you've had a tarot reading with me before, or you a tarot reader, or you've got questions, leave a comment. Let everybody know what's the vibe. All right. From my heart, namaste, love and light, and may the rest of your life, my beautiful cosmic sibling, be the best of your life.